Hey, Dave Rother here, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the one psychological hack that you can use to get people to purchase your products. So as you've probably experienced at some point, whether you're even beginning in business, you're just starting out now, or whether you've been in business for a long time, then you'll understand that the most difficult part of creating a new customer is actually getting them over the line, getting them to get their credit card or debit card out of their pocket and actually make that first purchase. So regardless of if it's a small sale, regardless of if it's a big sale, the real challenge in actually creating a new customer is actually getting them over the line. So this technique that I'm going to share with you today, and I'm going to give you a few different examples of how it's used and how one particular business, Booking.com, completely dominated their industry using this technique. Completely took over the entire hotel booking market by using this one technique, and how you can apply the same things in various different ways throughout your business to create those new customers, to get people over the line more effectively and in more abundance. So to give a little bit of context before we actually dive into this, I want to talk about how as human beings we are inherently lazy, and we inherently put stuff off. It's been true since the dawn of time. It's been true since when you were in school and you knew that you needed to do your essays, and then it'd always be the night before that you actually got stuff done. If you're like the most of us, okay, there's those outliers that would do their essays and get stuff done immediately and get stuff out of the way. I'm very envious of these people. I'm not one of these people, and if the entire world operated like this, we would probably be a considerably more advanced civilization by now. But you can't build your business on the reliance of these few outliers that actually get stuff done on time and actually get off their rears and get stuff done. The truth is, the majority of us are lazy. The majority of us put stuff off until the very, very last minute. So in terms of marketing, in terms of actually getting people to do that very simple task of taking their credit or debit card out of their pocket and making a purchase, which automatically breaks down a barrier in their mind and actually, funnily enough, creates a trust between you and them when they psychologically trust you more when they've made a purchase with you, so they can start to make more purchases with you and become a more valuable customer and allow you to provide more value to them. You can start to see how it's so important to master this ability to actually get them through, to get that credit card out of the pocket and get it typed into your order page or to your checkout page. So how do you actually bridge this gap? How do you get in control of getting people to actually purchase from you and encourage them to overcome their own inherent laziness and become a customer? Well, the answer is scarcity. Scarcity is the one thing that will actually get people over the line. If people feel like they're going to miss an opportunity, you might have heard this referred to as well as FOMO, fear of missing out. It's really, really powerful, because as soon as people feel like it's the last minute, as soon as people feel like they're about to miss out on an opportunity or a purchase or a product or a discount, then that is exactly when they're going to purchase. Up until that point, if that timeline for them purchasing can go on forever and ever and ever. There is no requirement for them to purchase if it's not if your product isn't overcoming a very specific, very immediate pain right there and then, they might never purchase. Now, you'll see this directly if you're running Facebook ads. I'd encourage you to go over and take a look at you can add a column in there which says post saves, and it's insane the amount of people who will save your ads but never actually purchase. You'll see it's often 10 to 20 times the amount of people who actually purchase or even click through will save your post. So they're obviously saving your post or your ad with the intention of coming back and purchasing later, but they're not doing it. They don't have this scarcity, they don't have a reason to check out, and therefore they can put it off and off and off. It completely makes sense if you think about how people live their lives online. People live their lives scrolling through in a very, very short attention span, a very short attention window. And actually, if you think about the task of taking their hand, putting it into their pocket to take out their credit card, to type in the number, etc., that whole task in and of itself is a lot more to ask than just scrolling or clicking. It's a big ask, as crazy as it sounds, to actually take people away from their feed and to actually get their credit card out. We also have a predisposed negative implement against buying as well, actually spending money. I'm sure you've experienced this. No matter how much money you've got in the bank, the idea of spending money, we're kind of averse to, right? We like buying, we like having new things, but we don't like actually spending the money. So the only way to actually overcome these things is to create scarcity, is to give people the idea that they're going to miss out if they don't purchase now. Now, obviously, you need to be ethical with this as well. So the worst thing in the world is to lose that trust by creating fake scarcity, by misleading people or making people realize that somewhere along the way they have been their intelligence has been made a mockery of. So we need to think about ways of introducing scarcity into our marketing which are ethical and which actually drive the sale. So there's various different ways we can do this, and to talk about one business to give this some context first, then I want to talk to you about, where's my blue pen, because this will provide a lot more context in blue. So, Booking.com. Now, Booking.com are probably the most aggressive in terms of doing this, but they've mastered it to an absolute key. And regardless of what you think of how they do it, and whether, I mean, personally, it really actually pisses me off the amount that they do this on the website, but obviously it's worked very, very well indeed for them because they've cornered their marketplace, and this has been one of the key pillar reasons they've been able to do it. If you notice, when you go to Booking.com, they not only show you the listings which are available, but they'll also show you negative messages like no rooms left, none left. Now, in reality, there's no reason for them to show you that listing. There's no benefit to it. It's just getting in the way of your scroll feed. But what they're planting in your mind is the idea that things are selling out. This isn't just an open market where you can come back anytime and get your room. You'll also see messages like X just booked, or X people are looking. So when you're actually looking at a specific hotel, that they know that you are a high intent buyer, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to purchase. But they also know that there's a very good likelihood that you think, oh well, I'll go and check something else. I'll think about this later, and I'll come back to it, because it is a big psychological commitment, particularly booking hotels, to think, did I get the dates right? Is this the right location? Could I get something better? Could I maybe go to Airbnb? So when by introducing this, X people are looking at this listing in conjunction with there's none left and somebody's just booked it, they're constantly exacerbating this thing in your mind that these things are booking out, there's not much time left. In reality, if you go back to that same city the day before, you'll be able to find hotels for a perfectly good price because they need to book their rooms at the last minute, right? But what this does, it's a really fantastic way, we're talking in terms of business sense, not necessarily ethics or what you think of it that way. It's a fantastic way of creating scarcity on the site, creating perceived scarcity. And it's, it's true, people are booking, people are looking at it. These hotels aren't left. It's all true, it's all perfectly real and ethical, but it creates that kind of scarcity in your mind. So there's lots of different ways you can do this as well. You can do on your website, there's various things, there's various different plugins that you can get. One of them is called Proof. If you Google that, Proof plugin or something like that, then you'll find that this will do a similar thing on your checkout page. So you can get a little widget that comes up on the bottom saying X just purchased. And basically that provides social proof that somebody else is purchasing, which is a fantastic way to help people understand. It's kind of similar to what Booking.com do, right? Then in terms of how you create time scarcity, time limited scarcity, where you can do limited time deals. You can also use a fantastic piece of software called Deadline Funnel, which will actually create a specific offer for each specific visitor. So it will track what time they hit your page by the IP address and give them a unique countdown timer whenever they come back to that page. So that offer is only live for them for an hour, 6 hours after they hit that page. You can also tie that into email campaigns. It's really, really fantastic bit of kit. So you get a specific deal tied to that person, and it's perfectly ethical because it's tied to them. They specifically have an opportunity to get that deal for a certain amount of time. You can also do, so the limited time deals would then be if you have a list of people or if you're providing ads, then you can create a limited time deal which is only open until the end of the week. This is how a lot of the launches are done in digital marketing. They're done on the basis of scarcity. This is only open for a week. It's an exclusive offer. It's a massively reduced offer to get people in the front end, and it's only open for a short amount of time. And this scarcity you'll tend to see, throughout the actual life cycle of the launch, then you'll see this kind of thing happening. So you've got the life cycle of the launch. Say it's a 4-day launch, then you're going to see a few sales trigger. I didn't draw this very well actually. Let me draw this, redraw this, and get rid of my beautiful illustration of the clock there. So if we see the whole launch like this, and we see the time of the launch, so Monday to Friday, and then so this is the amount of sales. Then what we'll see is when the thing gets launched, generally we'll have a small bump, and then over time we'll get gradually more, and then at the very last minute when people know that it's just about to end, the very last minute, just like if you think back to those exams that you only revised for the night before, the essays that you only submitted the day before they were due, then you'll see this massive peak at the very end. Now this will, if this kind of launch over time where you create that scarcity, and there's lots of different things you can do in between as well to exacerbate the scarcity and to create more offers and better the offer and create tiered pricing so that the price gradually goes up so that people can see it going up. Lots of different mechanisms you can use within here to actually create more scarcity, but then at the very last minute when people know it's about to fail, people who've been thinking about purchasing all week are going to at the very last minute buy whatever it is you've got. This is the case pretty much across the board, so long as you're getting it out to enough people and those people are relevant and have the intention of buying. Doing a launch like this and creating time scarcity is a really effective way to run your business. It's even worth considering pulling products from regular sale and putting them out during launches and doing quarterly launches. You might often find that you will sell more products by selling them for a short period of time, 1 week every quarter, than selling them consistently throughout the year, because you can create this scarcity, you can create these launches. It's a really, really effective way to make sales. So I hope this video was useful to you and demonstrated how scarcity is the single most powerful thing for actually making sales in your business, for actually getting people over the line and turning them into customers. Once you've mastered this step, it's the first crucial step to turning them into a repeat customer, somebody who comes back time and time again, spends more money with you and builds a better relationship with you. So in terms of creating better customers over time, this is where you really need to focus your efforts.